I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about devastated and crushed. It's normal to feel really hurt after a breakup. Okay? When a relationship ends, it could really turn our life upside down.
Absolutely.
Now, we often look at and talk about how our family history, how our relationship with our caregivers, how our environment was growing up is related to how we interact and handle our romantic relationships in the future. Because, if you're with somebody for, an extended amount of time, it's normal to be devastated and crushed.
Yes, when they leave you or when it falls apart for whatever reason, of course.
But you want to take a closer look at yourself and your family history if you're feeling devastated and crushed over someone you don't know that well, right?
Absolutely.
Because I think it's indicating that you might be attaching to people too quickly or fantasizing too much about who somebody really is before you get to know them.
Right. Yep. If you're really relieved to be in a relationship and it makes you come alive, and the thought of being without it devastates you, yes, you need to take a look at that.
Yeah. So today we're going to look at an email coaching from a woman that is in her mid to late 30s, and she was dating a guy in his mid 40s. Now, he's been divorced, but it's been a while, about 5 years since he's been divorced. It's a good amount of time. And they dated for about 4 months. So it's kind of telling that she's got some struggles with attachment to be devastated and crushed over someone that you've only been dating 4 months. Right? Because you really don't know somebody at that point.
No, you don't.
And she's done email coachings with me in the past, so it's telling that she has been on the channel for a while and knows some of the stuff we have already talked about as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So she said that they met on a dating app. He has his kids part-time, and he was single for a few months when they met, and she was just getting over someone else. She says, I wanted to see how things went. We had sex on the third date, but we never discussed what we were looking for in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Now, you can do whatever you want. It's your life. But if you're going to get attached to somebody, and you know that you're going to get attached to somebody right away, that it's an issue for you, you got to be careful with being intimate with somebody that too, and especially when you haven't discussed anything.
Right.
If you want to have, sex outside of a relationship, that's totally up to you.
You're a grown-up. Yeah.
But you're going to put yourself for being vulnerable and hurt if you get close to people quickly and you attach to them too soon and then you wind up getting hurt.
Absolutely. And we can't say that often enough. We hear about the quick starts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never a happy ending.
She says he was respectful, kind, and always schedule a date. He was consistent and we got along great. And he would usually reach out to me. So all of this is nice.
Yeah.
I like all this so
great.
far, right? He was also attentive and held hands. Everything was easy, going with the flow, not putting a label on things yet, and it was still new. 3 months in, we went on a trip, and it was amazing. We took pictures and had fun. A few days after, we didn't speak for 1 week. Once I reached out because he was on vacation with his kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it would be understandable that he had less time at that point.
Sure.
He texted the day after he got home asking to see me. So all of this is good so far, right? He's making a consistent effort and showing her. Since then, I notice he started to pull back, and so I reach out more sometimes. We've always seen each other once a week due to his schedule with his kids, and he'd always call or text and ask to come see me on my birthday. So at this point, she's seeing consistency and an effort, and I'm sure she appreciated that. Which, who can blame her? You know, you want to see somebody is eager and interested to seeing you. I'd been afraid to define the relationship, so my anxiety got the best of me. He said he hadn't been online in a while, but said things in the past that concerned me. He said his work is getting busier and takes care of his kids. So it sounds like he's kind of looking for reasons to somehow get out of this, or...
It's ill-defined. It's not dramatic yet.
Yeah, but I get a hint of all of a sudden now he's getting busier.
He's pulling back a little.
Right?
And of course she panicked.
So what happens? I made a catfish account online.
God.
He wasn't on there for a while, but then the other day he popped up. You know, this isn't gonna go good. He messaged my picture, meaning the fake profile. He messaged her. So...
Well, it's only 3 or 4 months in. Nobody has talked about a commitment.
Yep.
Right?
But he took the bait. She said, I was broken. We planned to see each other a few nights later. I said I wanted to define the relationship. Told him how I feel. I'm not interested in anyone else, but I want to take time to see how things go. But I understood and respect he doesn't feel the same, and that I've noticed he's pulling away. He disagreed and said he's just working. I don't believe him.
Whatever.
But
that's what she's got.
Yeah, but I don't believe him. There's something in my gut is telling me he's... And not only that, she knows he's on the accounts messaging other girls. He's got time to do that but not see her?
However, I think that was a not good thing to do. No.
Yeah.
It was a manipulation of sorts.
Yeah.
And there's nothing dramatic about his pullback. He's still seeing her. Go ahead.
No, but it just...
Yeah.
You get the vibe.
Yeah, I get the vibe.
Right. He said he can't do exclusive. Hasn't seen anyone since me, but still wants to see other people and wants to see me as well. And said this usually happens when he's dating. Well, that is his option. You guys haven't been dating that long.
Right.
I mean, to me, there is an underlying message of, I'm going to keep my other options open for him. I mean, in other words, if he was crazy enough about her and his interest was high enough, he wouldn't be interested in exploring other people.
Right.
So I think it's kind of telling that, okay, his interest isn't as high as she's hoping it would be.
Right.
Like, her interest sounds very high in him.
Oh, heavens, yes.
But his interest is like, you know, I like her, but I don't know, kind of vibe, right?
Right.
All right.
And I'm incapable of commitment, did he say?
Yes, I think that comes up in a minute.
Okay.
So let's get there. He said he would never have brought a define the relationship up because he doesn't want to hurt me. He does. Okay.
Okay.
I told him I'm not trying to commit after 4 months, but open to see where it goes. So this is, you know, she's got some healthy stuff here.
That was okay, yeah.
He said, when it's with me, it's real. Yesterday, we talked. I freaked out on him. As planned, I saw him last night so we could see how we were. He was calm and affectionate, but didn't want to hold hands, but we did have sex. This morning, we talked. He said he wants to see me, but can't commit to anyone. Anyone?
Anyone.
Anyone? I'm not buying it, Margaret.
Me either.
Adriana Lima? Nah. Natalie Portman? Not for me. That's him. That's this guy, right? I'm not buying it. He doesn't want to commit to her, and he just doesn't want to say it to her. Right? He just doesn't want to say, I don't want to commit to you yet because I'm not too sure about you yet.
Right.
I said I felt he knew that dating me would end, but I went in open.
Mm-hmm.
He strongly disagreed. He said he never thought that. I said I'd give him space and sorry to have pushed and made him feel trapped, and to give it a chance just to see where things go. And he said he'd like to do the same, but also see other people.
Mm-hmm.
I said I don't want to, but I agreed to it because I know it takes time to date someone and feelings change. I'm devastated though. I'm gonna back off unless he reaches out. I feel like I've ruined it and I'm afraid that it's over. I'm crushed. Did I mess up? What are your thoughts, Margaret?
Well, it depends to some extent at this point on what she's willing to tolerate. If she wants to keep in touch with him and see how things go.
Mm-hmm.
He's been honest enough that he's going to continue to see other people, and it's up to her how she wants to handle it. She can end with him or not. But crushed and devastated says that she really thought this was a forever relationship somewhere in her heart already.
Yeah, you're right. And she did kind of imply it.
Yes, she did. And I think she did make him feel trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you that I've done email coachings with her before, and I've seen significant growth
Good.
in her behavior and in her attitude and how she's acting towards people. I just think that she's giving off this underlying neediness that she might not be aware of yet.
Yes, I agree.
And that might be this feeling that he's getting being around her.
Absolutely. He's getting it. Yes, absolutely.
While she was making strides in her behavior, he can sense it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can sense things that are going on with other people, even if they don't tell us.
And if he was enjoying the casual relationship, and it sounds like he was, sounds like he liked her, and then she wants to define it, then that leaves him in an uncomfortable position, because then he has to, and I like his answer, he said he would have to hurt her to really discuss it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So he wasn't dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have volunteered a whole lot more information, but he wasn't dishonest.
Well, I think the only thing he may have been dishonest about was, I'm not going to commit to anyone.
You're not buying that one. I can certainly see that, and I don't buy that one either.
But for the most part, he was.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
For the most part, he was.
He just, I don't think, saw it coming that she was going to be this anxious 4 months in.
Yeah. You know, oftentimes when we're around somebody, there's just a sense that you can get that they're wanting more, that they're needing more, that they're too affectionate, that there's just too much intensity with them.
Yeah, that's it, too much intensity. And if there's anything avoidant about him, he's probably scared to death.
Yeah, because you can kind of sense a vibe that people give off.
Some people can sense it better than others.
Yeah.
You know, you're good at it. Many people are good at it, but not everybody is.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he was.
Even if he wasn't able to articulate it. Well, you know, when they started getting in conversations where all of a sudden she's wanting to define things and things like that, he's going to pick up on it there.
Yep.
Whereas if somebody's more casual, you can tell.
Yep.
You can just feel it. I know it's hard to articulate it into words.
It is.
But there are little things that we say and do that we have to be aware of. Mm-hmm. And when you're truly secure and confident within yourself, you just unconsciously have a different affect and vibe and energy that you give off than when you've struggled with your attachment issues.
And if you're in a situation of being able to say, I'm just fine on my own, but your company is lovely too, and so I will certainly think about that. But I might want you, but I don't desperately need you.
Mm-hmm. So, I would absolutely back off and leave him alone.
Absolutely.
If he's really interested, he'll make an effort.
He'll make a move.
And to repair this with you, and then you could see how it goes. This girl has made tremendous progress in her behavior and her attitude.
Good.
And having more reasonable expectations.
Good.
I just think that there's still a lot of hurt and unresolved issues
Sounds like it. Yeah.
that she's got to get through
Yeah.
within herself to give off a more relaxed, confident energy with the people she's dating.
And she was really very upset and frightened at the 4-month point, and so set up that other account to see if he was being faithful to her. And it was very early to do that, I think.
Yeah.
I think. It's almost like she expected a commitment by then.
Mm-hmm. So she's making great strides, and I
Yeah.
can tell that, and I can see that she's heading in the right direction. I just think that there were smaller things that were going on in the interactions and the conversations that helped him pick up on she's wanting a lot more than I want at this space or at this speed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. Well, and you could look at it this way, too. She showed that all too early. She didn't let him guess long enough and wonder where she was coming from.
Yeah.
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 Don't play your cards too early.
Yeah, especially in the early stages of dating.
Right.
People do enjoy that challenge.
Yeah.
They really do. I don't think this was really your fault. I know you're probably blaming yourself.
It really isn't. It really isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about some of the things that you maybe were unconsciously doing, but focus on the progress you've made and the growth that you've made and the changes that you've already made in the short amount of time you've been watching the channel. It hasn't been that long. And see what happens with him. If it doesn't work out with him, you're learning from the mistakes, you're making changes, you can look deeper within yourself and your attachment issues so you don't come on too strong for people.
Right. And it's certainly okay to ask on the first date, is it not? What are you looking for?
You can, I just don't think people are going to be so honest.
You don't? Okay.
I think you want to get there, but I think you kind of want to see it a little bit at a time.
And yeah. And there's a time to be clear, and there's a time to just sort of go with the flow. And in the beginning of a relationship, you kind of want to go with the flow before you start getting too concrete.
And she was trying to go with the flow. She
tried hard to do it, yeah.
She did. And I give her credit for that.
Yep.
It's just that when she started to see that pullback, all of a sudden she tried to start doing controlling things.
Her anxiety kicked in.
Exactly. Yeah. Like having the conversations or creating the fake account and stuff like that. But if you find that you get hurt or attached to somebody easily when you're intimate with them, then you really want to take a look at having those conversations ahead of time. In other words, don't be intimate with somebody if you're going to get hurt that the sex means something more than just the sex.
Right. That's good advice.
Yeah.
And we hear these things all of the time. What's a reasonable amount of time to think about getting really close to someone?
Yeah.
When you would expect them to have, if not a final commitment, at least some commitment to you. I think 4 months is short. What do you think, Craig?
I do too. I know you can get excited about somebody,
Right.
and it can be really intoxicating to want to jump into it.
Yep.
It's just that you got to be careful because you really got to take your time finding out how other people will attach.
Yes, you do. And remember always that Mother Nature pumps up those hormones in the beginning of any relationship because Mother Nature always wants offspring.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all those wonderful feel-good hormones, which can be blinding, and you don't take your time to get to know this person.
Yeah.
And you really need to know people. My bias, it may seem like a terribly long time, but my bias is always for a year. If you know someone for a year, you know how they handle every holiday and every anniversary. And if you don't, you can be blindsided.
You're going to have a much clearer picture
Yeah.
if you take your time like that.
Take your time, yeah.
Okay.
And I think in many relationships, there's pull back and re-engage, pull back and re-engage. And that can be a very normal part of a relationship. So it's not necessary to panic every time there's a pullback.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you've been wounded,
Sure.
those pullbacks are going to feel
Devastating.
incredibly
Devastating,
painful. Yeah.
just like she said.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Good stuff, right?
Yes, very good stuff.
Okay. Hopefully you found this one helpful. Let us know. Leave comments if you liked the topic and if you liked what we talked about here. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you can get it at my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
And if you don't think she could be helpful, what?
Talk to Craig.
Click on Margaret on the top of the website to schedule a coaching with her. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.